Back in the day, your kicks told your story. From Pro-Keds on blacktops to shell-toe Adidas in cyphers, sneakers weren't just fashion, they were identity. In the 70s, we laced up Chuck Taylors and Puma Clydes, balling on milk crates and breaking on cardboard. The suede had to be brushed. The soles, bright white to blind the haters. And Uptowns, that was a New York rite of passage. Then came Air Jordans, and the game levitated. The 80s brought the boom. Nike Cortez, Troop, Fila, Diodora. Matching your laces to your outfit wasn't optional, it was law. Folks got robbed just for looking too fly. Scuff my sneakers? That's a fight. Step on them? That's a funeral. This wasn't just about shoes. It was about respect, rep, and running the block with style. By the 90s, it was a full-blown religion. Bo Jackson's for the multi-sport flex, Dion's for the swagger, Backspin Chronicles, sneaker culture, where every soul had a soul.
Good evening, everybody. It's your brother Van Silk. Got on my New York Knicks Walk Fraser jersey. Sorry, I'm hip-hop. Hey, listen. Got the gray hairs going. But as a young kid growing up, I wore sneakers in the South Bronx. I had Converse. I had Pumas. But guess what else I had? Besides me having PF Flyers, I had Pro-Keds. Pro-Keds. The three stripes, we call them the 69ers. Got them for $7.99 off in the Bronx at Simpson Street. Or we go down to Lancey Street. Then, about a year or two later, they came with another pair with the red and blue stripes on the side. We call them Super Pro-Keds. I think they was $10.99. Man, do you know what I had to get back in the 73, 74, 75 to get a pair of Pro-Keds? Pro-Keds is part of hip-hop. So I thought about it. Yo, the OGs love Pro-Keds. The new generation will wear Pro-Keds. I don't have a Pro-Keds shirt. I don't have a Pro-Keds hat. I don't got nothing with Pro-Keds on it. I hit up some of my hip-hop friends, asked them a question. Hey, yo, would you wear Pro-Keds in 2026? I hit up Chuck D from Public Enemy. I text him. And this is what he texted me back. He said, yo, Van, I was drawing the picture of Pro-Keds. You know, Chuck D's an artist from Public Enemy. He draws this special type of art that he do. He had DSW in there. And, you know, this is what Chuck D sent me back. Talked to cool DJ Red Alert, who's been on the radio for 40 years. He said, yeah, I'll rock some Pro-Keds. Now, some people don't like Pro-Keds because they have the rubber soles and all that. But listen, man, we OGs, and the young generation need to know about Pro-Keds. Man, we need to get Pro-Keds back on the map. I got so many projects going on, so many events coming up this summer. We need Pro-Keds to be in the place to be. We got to get the people again wearing Pro-Keds. We got to get the B-boys, the dancers, wearing Pro-Keds. I want Pro-Keds. I'm going to be... Let me get in the sun. I'm going to be the new face for the OGs. Pro-Keds OGs. That's what we should call it. Pro-Keds, Pro-Keds OGs. Yeah. That's what we should call it. I want to rock some Pro-Keds, man. I got some Vans. I got some Nikes. I got Fila, but man, can Uncle Van get some Pro-Keds? We're going to put Pro-Keds back on the map. I'm going to start putting Pro-Keds back on the map. Yo, check this out. I pulled out a couple videos about the history of Pro-Keds, about how people feel about Pro-Keds. I'm going to tag Ice-T, Tretch, Digital Underground, Young MC, I'm hitting all the major OG rappers up like, yo, you want to rock some Pro-Keds? Y'all on tour. That's what we're going to do. We're going to rock some Pro-Keds. We can walk in our Pro-Keds. I want the green ones. I want the blue ones. Man, I haven't had Pro-Keds since I was a kid. Yo, where's my Pro-Keds? I want Pro-Keds. Listen, I want y'all to answer this question that I got posted up here. Would you wear Pro-Keds in 2026? This is Van Silk, OG, hip-hop. I want to know, would you wear Pro-Keds in 2026? I will. Pro-Keds. Holla. We got to do this. Pro-Keds OGs, 2026, yo. We gotta get Pro-Keds. We gotta get this generation of kids to understand these are sneakers you can rock, wear, see what kind of sneakers they got. They may have suede Pro-Keds. Who knows? They might have some leather ones. Who knows what they got? I want the original OGs, Pro-Keds OGs. Sitting out here, walking in the sun. Bless out. Pro-Keds in 2026.
Looking like the old school. I wouldn't be here today if the old school didn't take away. Like the old school. I wouldn't be here today.
Yo, son, New York City Crazy Story 71. Before Nike, before Puma, before Adidas, what is it? The world famous Pro-Keds, son. What do you know about this, B? This is back in the day. Son, these are the ugliest flyer shoes ever. Can you believe it? Look at these joints. This is what we wanted back in the days. I'm talking late 70s, early 80s, all the way up to maybe mid 80s. And then Puma, Nike, and Adidas, they did their thing. But before that, you was running to the store real fast with these joints in your feet because you thought you was the man with these Pro-Keds. And then they slashed the Pro and they just had Keds. Remember that, son? These joints always gonna hold a real special place in my heart, B, because this is what I knew. This is the beginning of fresh for me, B. This is what I thought, you know what I'm saying? So Crazy Story, big up to the one and only Pro-Keds.
That's right. I want my Pro-Keds. Yo, here's a picture of my man, DJ Kev Rockwell, back in 1981 when they was making a movie Wild Style. Yo, this was 1981 at the Dixie Club. He got on the shirt. The press on let his shirt, but he had a Pro-Keds shirt. It says Pro-Keds. He said, yo, Van, I had on the Pro-Keds sneakers, but he just had the picture with the shirt. Yo, we need some Pro-Keds. Pro-Keds OG. Just take the 69ers and take the one with the Super Pro-Keds, and we need to call them the Pro-Keds OG. OGs will wear the Pro-Keds. The millenniums, this generation, we're going to get them to wear Pro-Keds. If you like Pro-Keds and you want Pro-Keds, leave a message. Text a message. Say why you will wear Pro-Keds. I'm going to be the new face. Me and my crew. The OGs. Pro-Keds OGs. We're going to rebrand the whole brand. Pro-Keds OG. We're going to wear it in the park. We're going to wear it out. The young B-boys. We're going to get B-boys Pro-Keds. 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 Y'all in? Leave a message. Type in a message. I'm in the sun in Florida. Got on this Walt Frazier, my idol. Jersey. Pro-Keds. I want some Pro-Keds, man. I don't have a pair. I'm gonna get some too. And I want a Pro-Keds shirt. Pro-Keds shirt says Pro-Keds OGs. Yeah, we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back. They're like, yo, what's Pro-Keds? Y'all checked out the story that I gave y'all. Y'all know what Pro-Keds is. It's only sneakers I'm missing right now, some Pro-Keds. I don't want to hear nothing. I want some 69s. I want all the colors. I want the Super Pro-Keds, high top, low top. Whatever they got. The OGs, we want Pro-Keds. I'm out.
新色っすよね、これ。
そうです。
いい色。本当に。
はい。
あ、本当だ。
いただいてます。 今1ヶ月ぐらい。
1ヶ月ぐらい。
はい。
いいね、いいね。
意外と合わせやすい。
ね、そうだよね。
デニムにバッチリですよね。そうです。でもあんまり紫のスニーカーってなくない？
そうですね。
それがいいよね。しかもなんか本当にすげえパンとした紫じゃないの。いい感じのちょっとフェードしてる感じの甘い感じだから。合わせやすそうこれ。本当そうですよね。
グレープ。グレープだね。
このレッドもさ、多分前なかったんだよ。
なかった。
そう。
出たんだ。
出たんだよ。
はい、ありがとう。OK。
Before sneaker culture as we know it today, there was Pro-Keds, the first mass-marketed sneaker in the world. Over 100 years old, worn by everybody from school kids to movie stars. Keds helped invent sneaker culture long before the word sneakerhead even existed. The choice of champions, the brand was graced by some of NBA's most gifted OG athletes in history. Names like Nate Archibald, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Pistol Pete Maravich. They all laced up in Keds sneakers. But these days, you definitely don't see them on the court anymore, or even in the streets as much. But ever wonder why? How could one of the oldest sneaker brands in the world seemingly have no footing in the current sneaker market? Why didn't they rock out like Converse? Let's find out. I'm Nate the Great from TakeFlight214.com, and this is the rise and fall of Pro-Keds, from iconic to invisible. But before we get started, as always, if you enjoy videos on sneaker and streetwear history, then please smash that like button. I know you hadn't saw the video yet, but if you like stuff like that, then you trust me, you'll like it. Smash the like button. Liking and sharing these videos and commenting is really the only way to help us continue to grow as a channel. But with all that being said, let's dive into the story. It all starts in the 1830s, actually long before Keds was ever even dreamed up. The first company to create what could reasonably be called a sneaker was the Liverpool Rubber Company. At the time, they didn't even actually call them sneakers, they called them plimsolls. Back then, the LRC didn't brand the shoes, they just kind of sold them as white label or something. But the revolutionary design began to gain attention with more and more people. After 86 years of market research, a group of opportunistic fellows in the US had an idea spark. Why not take this popular design and brand it for the first time? I know, no brainer, right? But hindsight is 2020. And in 1916, the US Rubber Company officially launched Keds. Before Keds, everyone in America wore shoes that were hard leather, loud on pavement, and built for work, but not for comfort. Keds introduced something revolutionary at the time: rubber soles. That soft rubber bottom made walking much more quiet. So quiet that people started calling them sneakers. Well, I'll be damned. How many people out there knew that the term sneakers was created thanks to Keds? The original canvas shoe was lightweight, affordable, and perfect for everyday life. Not sports, not status, just movement. And that simplicity changed footwear forever. One of the most important chapters in Keds history is something that many sneaker fans often overlook. In the early 1900s, women's shoes were restrictive and impractical. Keds gave women freedom, literally. As women's rights expanded in the 1920s, Keds became a symbol of independence, mobility, and modern life. By 1917, they had released the Champion, the first sneaker marketed directly to women. The move made Keds not just a shoe company, but a cultural force at that time. By the mid-20th century, Keds stepped into pop culture. They were worn by icons like Audrey Hepburn and Marilyn Monroe. They became the shoe of summer, youth, and casual American style. This positioned Keds as a lifestyle sneaker decades before lifestyle sneakers ever even existed as an official thing. Keds were dominating the casual market, but Converse was dominating the sports market, and Keds wanted in on that. So they established Pro-Keds in 1949 as a direct competitor to Converse. Chuck Taylors had been around since Jesus wore short pants, and the scene was primed and ready for another technically minded brand to challenge the throne. The shoe that defined the brand was the Pro-Keds Royal. It featured thick rubber soles, reinforced toe caps, higher ankle support, and durable canvas construction. By the 50s and 60s, Pro-Keds became one of the most popular basketball sneakers in America. They were worn by NBA players, college athletes, and playground legends. Most famously, Pro-Keds were endorsed by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the earlier half of his career, back when he was still known as Lou Alcindor. And at one point, Pro-Keds stood shoulder to shoulder with Converse as a top basketball brand. They weren't just big in basketball though. They branched out into the other big two sports as well. But basketball was still the bread and butter when it came to sneakers, especially in those days. And by the 70s, basketball was changing. Players wanted leather uppers, advanced cushioning, lighter materials, and more technology. Nike, Adidas, and Puma all stepped in with innovation. But Pro-Keds, they stuck to what they knew: canvas, rubber, and tradition. But in a league moving towards performance science, tradition just wasn't good enough. Slowly, Pro-Keds disappeared from the NBA spotlight, but their story was far from over. As Pro-Keds faded from professional basketball, they found a new life in somewhere unexpected: the streets of New York City. They were cheaper than Adidas, easier to find than Converse, and a lot more durable than they looked. Pro-Keds became a working class sneaker, worn by kids who lived the culture. As hip-hop exploded in the 1980s, Pro-Keds quietly became part of the uniform. Rappers, b-boys, and graffiti artists loved them, not because of endorsements, but because that's what they wore growing up. While the Adidas superstar got all of the spotlight, Pro-Keds lived in the background, respected by those who actually knew. They were never flashy, but they were real. Over the decades, Pro-Keds changed hands multiple times. The brand passed through declining years, corporate restructuring, and licensing deals. Each ownership shift diluted the brand's focus more and more. Meanwhile, sneaker culture had become louder, faster, and more hype-driven. All that time, Pro-Keds stayed quiet. A little too quiet. In the 2000s, they attempted a comeback, offering the Royale for collaborations with several streetwear brands. And around 2006, Dame Dash of Rockefeller fame stepped into a leadership and creative role with Pro-Keds, helping guide its relaunch into the streetwear space. And this wasn't just a one-off sneaker collab. Dame was involved in creative direction, branding, marketing, and repositioning Pro-Keds for a new generation. The vision was clear: take Pro-Keds back to the streets. They tried to push the brand as the people's sneaker, affordable and respected. And honestly, for older sneakerheads, it did spark nostalgia. But for a new generation raised on Jordans, Yeezys, and Air Force Ones, Pro-Keds felt unfamiliar and kind of like weird. The revival came, but the moment had passed. The Dame link and various other collabs did help a bit, but there was no viral sneaker, no must-have colorway, or athlete signature moment. The relaunch earned respect, but not obsession. And in sneaker culture, respect don't always pay the bills. And as a result, Pro-Keds faded. They may not dominate the headlines today, but their legacy is undeniable. They were one of the earliest basketball performance shoes, a bridge between sports and street culture, and a New York street classic. Pro-Keds helped lay the foundation for sneaker culture as we know it today, long before it even had a name. They remind us that not every legend necessarily stays on top forever, but real ones are never forgotten. But what do you think? Were you a fan of Pro-Keds back in the day? Would you still wear them now? Hit us in the comments and let us know.